What's going on, guys? All right, I have a gun I've been looking forward to shooting, and waiting to do these first shots in these videos are driving me insane because sometimes it's a while before I can get over here and do them. But I want to tell y'all, this shirt's a little thick, but I wanted to wear it in this video because it's my Legion series shirt. And what are we looking at today? We are looking at a Sig P365 AXG Legion. Now, I just turned this light on. This light is one of the easiest lights I've ever seen in my life to have an ND on. This is Sig's Foxtrot 2R light. It is a rechargeable light. I think it's like 700 lumens. It's brighter than the TLR7s and A's and the subs. It's brighter than those. Has like a tighter beam to it, but is way easier to ND. And it took me a while to actually get it where I wanted it because these paddles were actually way too far inside the trigger guard. I kept hitting them with my finger, and you can change these paddles out, but I just never could find anything that worked well. But I do want to say this gun feels so good in the hands. And I just turned that light on again, just dropping it down. I mean, it is so easy to turn that light on. It's crazy. But the trigger in this is very good. I will say that. It feels good. I've not shot it yet. The grip on this, so I have some guns that are in my top 10 list of feeling good in the hand. And I'll probably do a video on that. But I've always said that the Sig P365 ZEV is the best feeling gun I've ever had in my hand. And I probably still stand by that. But this is pretty amazing. It's a pretty close second. I hope I can shoot this gun as good as it feels. My CS feels amazing in the hand, and I shot that gun great. Hopefully this is the same way because I really like this gun, and I wouldn't mind to put it in my rotation for EDC. Now it is sporting an EPS carry optic. We'll do a review of these optics later on at a later date. I have a lot of guns I'm reviewing today. I'm just actually changing shirts in case you all are wondering. I've done like 5 videos a day and just changed shirts. You all wouldn't even know it. But anyway, I will do a review of these once I get a few more rounds through them. This is a fully enclosed optic, and it does mount straight to your slide of your 365. I do like that. I like how these look. I like that they're enclosed. I just like everything about these optics. The EPS, not the carry, but the full size, not so much. There are guns that have plates that those adapt to, and a lot of people say these plates work. Staccato states that their plate does not work with the full size, only the carry. So I don't know what the difference is. Apparently there's some kind of difference. But I did put a full size on my shadow systems, and they made a plate for it. So if they make a plate for your gun, I do like the full size, but I like these carry options better on these little kind of micro pistols. Even though this is a pretty good sized pistol overall, I can do a comparison in this video because I have a few other guns over here I can compare it to. But in your hand, it feels pretty small. Again, I've just been looking very forward to shooting this. So without further ado, talk is cheap. Let's get on with shooting this thing. Okay, guys, I think I've got like 10 or 11 rounds in this magazine. I was shooting it a minute ago to sight in the EPS carry on my 365X that I carry a lot. So I had a few rounds left in this magazine, so we're just going to do the first shots impression with like 11 rounds, and then I'll give you my initial impression of how this thing actually shoots. All right, guys, first impressions, I turned the light on again. God, I kind of hate this light, but that's the only holster I could find was with this light. It is brighter, but crap, if you have an ND all the time or you run your battery down, I guess it doesn't matter. But anyway, this gun feels good. That recoil felt very light. The X Macro recoil is really light in my opinion as well. This little kind of self-made comp in the end right here, the barrel, you can see right here as I pull this back, the barrel is shorter than the end of the dust cover. So this kind of compensator sticks out in front, kind of like the Ramjet, I think it's called, or something like that. They're out in front of the muzzle, and this kind of works on the same principle. Or it does work on the same principle. And that actually does help. And the weight of this metal frame or aluminum frame, man, This is a flat shooter, but it is not sighted in. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and sight this optic in like I normally do in these videos. I am gonna actually sight it in towards the end with my carry ammo, so you can see if it actually runs carry ammo. One more thing I wanna show you, I just now thought about. See how this little ledge is right here? It makes it super easy to get a hold of that slide stop to drop it. Little things like that, like this one has this, well, if I can get it turned around here, has this little bitty slide stop. And look at the ledge between these two. That one is, the one on the AXG Legion is bigger and it is wider, and I just like it. I like everything about this pistol. I like that it has a mag well. The mag well really helps seat it in my large size hands. These grips with the cool Legion logo on them really are nice and basically perfectly stippled in my opinion. For a carry gun, this thing is awesome. I think from here on out, it's either going to be my Staccato CS, which it probably will be. I love that gun. This or that 365X. That is pretty much the only thing that I will have on my body at any given time. It's probably going to be the CS. For what that gun cost, you could probably buy like 3 of these almost. But it's a great gun. So let me get off here, jump off here. I will sight this gun in, and when I get it sighted in, we'll be back and put some more rounds through it. All right, guys, it took me a little while to get that sighted in. I don't know if it's me or the gun. I'm getting pretty tired. I've been over here about 4.5 hours doing videos, so I'm getting a little tired of loading ammo and shooting guns. A little sore in the web of my hand. I'm getting up close to 1,000 or a little more rounds I've put down range today. But I got it sighted in. I'll take you down there and say, look at this light. I keep turning that light on. Every time I turn around, I turn that light on. I do not recommend the Foxtrot light unless you're putting on that gun and need a holster, because it drive me crazy. So I was shooting like high right, and I'd throw one low, and then right here was my last 4 shots. So I was like, yeah, that was like the one before. I made a little adjustment, and then I actually made I started saying Mickey Mouse, but I don't like their politics. But I made that, and it's pretty accurate. It's a pretty soft shooter overall. Sorry to wobble that camera. I couldn't get it where I wanted on tripod. But it's a pretty soft shooter overall, and I really like it. So let's put some more rounds through it. I want to get more of a feel for that recoil impulse with that comp on the end. The gun feels like it's shooting pretty flat. I won't know until I go back to edit this video if it's shooting flatter than anything else I've shot today. But it feels like it's shooting really flat. I probably put close to 50 rounds through this gun because I just kept on spraying them. And I don't think it's the gun. I think it's just I'm getting tired. But there at the end, I was dialed it in. I was getting used to the trigger. It does take a little while to get used to some triggers. So that could have been it too, just getting used to where that trigger's breaking. But I struggled a little bit with this one. I'm not gonna lie. I tell you, I'm not the best shooter in the world. I said in another video, I'm not 22 Plinkster, but I'm okay. But I struggled with this, and more so than most of the stuff I've shot today. But after I got it sighted in, I really liked it. Let's put a few more rounds down range. We'll step this thing out back to 44 yards and see if I can hit that smaller than human size metal target right there, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, guys, I do want to say this gun's getting really, really warm up towards this comp. Them gases coming out will really heat this thing up, so be careful if you're putting a lot of rounds through yours, because that will get pretty warm after a little while. I shot a little low on that one, and I got some up. I was shooting a little bit quicker, and my glasses was fogging up. I've been dealing with that all day. It's been pretty humid. It's hard to see all those things. But they were all, this would have been an A zone. We got to admit, this is like the size of, but I tore all this out. So I tore all this out right here, and then I sprayed some down here. But there again, it would have all been the A zone. We would have been good with that. If that was an attacker, that would have been center mass all day long. And we've ripped out a big hole on the backside of it, definitely. So let me back this thing out to 44 yards. We'll put 10 rounds in this and we'll see how it runs. But first I do want to say, I still think this gun feels amazing in the hand. I do have to show you this. That metal is starting to make my hand a little red in the web. I do get a very, very high grip on this gun. That is something I really like, is I get a very, very high grip. You can see how high my grip is on this. And because I can do that, it's getting me in here after probably, I don't know, was that 60, 65 rounds, 70 rounds. But there again, I've put almost 1,000 rounds down range, so that probably has something to do with it. But when I get this really high grip, you can see how much meat I'm actually getting above the beaver tail right there. It's a wonder I'm not actually getting bit by this. You can see right there how it's imprinting in my hand. That's one thing I really like about this gun. It's got this checkering on the back and checkering on the front. And between those two checkerings and the grip, you can really, really get a good grip on this gun. I mean, it's, to be a metal gun, it's one of the best metal guns I've ever owned that can help you keep your grip up. This right here isn't like a real slick finish. It's more of a matte finish. And because of that, your hand doesn't try to slide down. And the way this mag well indexes my hand and my fingers really makes it where I can keep my grip up on this gun with no problem at all. I didn't really have to adjust my grip at all with this. My grip doesn't move around or anything much with this gun. It's just really, really flat shooting. But that being said, let's go see what I can do at 44 yards. I've been doing pretty good with that today. I've only missed a few times, and we redid the ones I missed, and I left the ones I missed on here. But when we redid the ones I missed, 10 out of 10 the second time. So let's go see what we can do with this. All right, guys, you'll recognize this if you watch the channel very much. We're at the 44 yard line, a little bit smaller than human torso still down there. Let's see, we always do 10 shots. See what we can do with 10 shots from 44 yards. I forgot my eyes and ears. I think I actually missed the first three. So like the CS, I think it was, I'm going to do this again. I don't have the confidence in this gun that I had in like the CS and the Terran Tactical Canic. Those I just got overconfident, started shooting a little faster and missed. This one I just missed. So I'm going to go load up 10 more rounds. We're going to do that again. I don't know. There's something about this gun. I'm not shooting as good. I'm sure if I shot it more, I would get better with it, but I'm just not as accurate with this as I was hoping I would be. Okay, guys, so got 10 more rounds. I will say I've already sighted this in for the Federal HST, and the 124 grain Federal ammo seems to be shooting quite a bit higher, and that may be a difference at 44 yards. This thing does have like a really short barrel, like the regular 365 barrel length, and maybe that's making a difference. When I was holding a little lower on the target last time, I was making more hits. So it could just be that this ammo is actually making that much a difference in this gun versus carry ammo once I sighted in for carry ammo. Okay, guys, I do believe that's what it is. When I was holding lower on what would probably be the lower abdomen or pelvic girdle of this target down there, I was hitting more center mass. I did still miss one, so we got 9. But I was hitting more center mass when I held lower. And I noticed that the weeds behind the target, when the first time I shot, I was missing high. So I do believe that the 124 grain Federal ammo, the target ammo, the full metal jacket, does shoot that much higher in this gun and make that big a difference. Some guns it makes a huge difference in. It didn't really the CS, it didn't really the Terran Tactical, but I have had guns where when you sight it in for, carry ammo that have higher pressures, and the carry ammo is like 147 grain. So it probably actually has a little bit lower pressure. I don't know. I'd have to look at the pressures on the boxes. But it's 147 grain versus 124. That 147 actually may be a little lower pressure. It may be traveling a little slower. This may be traveling a little faster, so it may be throwing it higher. That's just a hypothesis. I don't know. I've not looked at the feet per second on the boxes or anything. But that's the only thing I can deduce that would be causing this. But when I held lower on the target, maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches from the bottom, I was hitting basically center mass. And at that target where I sighted in the HST ammo, I was hitting, dead center or right around dead center on them last 4 or 5 shots. So it very well could just be that this ammo shoots high now that I've got it sighted in for the other. Because I did notice I had to adjust this quite a bit when I went to that HST. But I want it sighted in for my carry ammo and not, something I'm just going to come out and plink with. Knowing I'll plink more than I will probably needing that ammo. But when I need it, I want to make sure it goes where I want to go. So let's take this back up here in the range and finish up this video. All right, guys. So final thoughts. There is something I want to tell y'all. This is my second slide. My first slide had like a big line right down through here. And I couldn't tell if the metal had a crack in it or if the finish had a crack in it. So I sent the slide back to Sig, not the frame. I just had to send the slide, not the barrel or anything like that. And they replaced the slide. Great customer service. I'll do a video about that. But they replaced the slide and sent me a brand new slide. There's very, very little play in this slide at all. I'm sure they don't fit slides to frames like, Staccato or Wilson Combat or somebody does. They're making a much higher volume of pistols than those people do. So I'm sure it's like ordering just a slide offline and you throw it on your Glock or something. So they sent me that. But I want to say, I don't think this finish is great. I've always heard people complain about the Legion finishes and how they don't really hold up. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. I really don't. Maybe if I got my flashlight out. Yeah, you can see that little nick like right here. I think that's from brass casings coming out of the gun when it throws it. And I think it nicked right there because there's like a little bit of wear right here too. Now this is a carry gun and I'm not extremely concerned about that because it is going to get some wear. I mean, it's going to do it. It's going to happen. That's just the way it is. But after like 100 rounds-ish through this gun, we're seeing some wear right there that I wouldn't expect to normally see out of even other SIGs. My Zev slide here, this thing probably has 1,000 rounds through it, and there is no wear at all right there. And this one is already showing wear after 100 rounds, and I had to send one back because of a scratch on the slide. There again, Sig said that wasn't a crack in the slide. It was just a finish issue. And they claimed that when they sent this back, that the reason they sent me a new slide and didn't refinish the other one was because it was just quicker to get it back to me because I told them I wanted to do a review on it. Sometimes, you can tell them you're a YouTuber and they don't cherry pick your stuff, but maybe they'll get things back to you a little quicker. I was hoping that would work. I don't know if that's the case. They may have done that for anybody, but I did get this back very quickly and was able to do a review on it. But it just doesn't seem like that Legion finish. I love the finish. This greenish, grayish looking finish really looks really good, but it just doesn't seem to hold up the best. This light is horrible. It barely touch it. It just comes on. I mean, I turned this thing on like probably 6 or 8 times just doing this video through 100 rounds. It's bright, but be very careful when you carry this as like a carry gun or like CCW because NDs on this light is very, very easy. The EPS carry is a great optic. I really like it. I like how it looks. I like that it's, enclosed. And at 44 yards, I was able to hit that 9 out of 10 times. Again, the one, I might have missed just a hair left, but it hit it 9 out of 10 times. So, I mean, the gun takes a pass there, missing one time on a target smaller than a human torso. At 44 yards, which more than likely you're never going to have to shoot 44 yards. There's only like just been a handful of self-defense cases. The one that comes to mind was when all those YouTubers were doing that drill where the guy in the mall stopped the active shooter at like 42 yards or something like that and got 6 out of 10, I can't remember, 7 out of 10 hits on him. I can't remember how many hits it was, but that's one of the only times that I remember something like that happening. And, that was 9 out of 10. But I think this is a great gun. I do. It shoots really flat. It feels really good in the hand. But after shooting this and after shooting my Staccato CS, the Staccato CS has definitely won out for my foreseeable future on carry pistols. And it's not because it's a more expensive gun. I just shot it better. It just shoots better. It shoots at least as flat, if not flatter. That thing shoots like a full-size pistol. I love the Staccato. I really like this. I'm not dogging this out. I wouldn't care at all to carry this. But it was a little underwhelming in the end. Great gun, though. Great gun. Maybe I shouldn't have shot it the same time I shot some of these higher-end guns, like my Staccato. And I actually followed this video up after I did, that light's back on again, after I did the Canik Terran Tactical video. And the trigger on the Canik is one of the best triggers I've ever felt next to my rival trigger. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But this is still a good option for carry. I'm not saying don't carry this. I'm just saying for me, I thought this would be my carry gun when I bought it. I bought the Staccato a few weeks later, and the Staccato won out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comments. Again, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. It's all free. It does help the channel. YouTube hates gun channels now, so that does help. And I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. See you next time.